Well, this week so far has been kind of nasty in the market. What a big sell off. And today is definitely one of those days where it feels like the only way to make money is to just short every single bounce. Don't do that, but I did short a lot of stocks today, from the large caps like Tesla and Moderna to the small caps. The good news is if you're able to survive and make money or just stay solvent in this kind of market condition, then you are on your way to become a great trader in the future. Because anybody and their grandparents can make money when the market just goes straight up. But it's those who really know how to trade and manage your risk who can survive in this kind of really red market. And that's what we're seeing right now. So let's talk about the first stock I traded today is Tesla short. If you look at the way this thing traded yesterday, once it broke above the 760, 770s level for Tesla, this thing rallied almost to $800 yesterday. On the way up, yesterday you can see this thing went straight up from 770 all the way to 799. And that's where it kind of like sold off with the market at the end of the day. So today, when you see a huge gap down on this, I guess there were two ways to play this. Either long the bounce after the gap down, which I didn't do it because I was kind of waiting to see what the market's going to do. And at the open, market stays very weak. But Tesla, on the other hand, it was actually spiking from 780s all the way to red to green, 790s. And if you see this area, 794, 795s, that's the area I was interested in shorting over here. You can see that's kind of the area once it broke down from yesterday's support, it flushed into the close. And for a stock like Tesla to go red to green in a market condition where everything's selling off, I think that's a short-term bounce on shorts covering after yesterday's rally. So that's the reason I started shorting here. 792s. I was a little bit too early, so I trimmed a bit. But after seeing that on the 5-minute, the stock is rejecting these levels that we just talked about from yesterday, that's why I went in short. So I had a very decent average up here. Even after the small loss here, I had an average about 794s. My regret is not adding into the short because once this thing tanked, you can see on the 5 minutes there was barely any bounces to add into the position. And on a stock like Tesla, it's not something I'm comfortable shorting the weakness. I always like to wait for the bounces, same as a lot of the other stocks that you'll see later on. And you can see once it cracked previous day's close, red to green, this thing just barely even retested the 790. So it sold off, so I was covering on the way down. I did have a nice little ad here, 785s, and shorted it into over here 780s. I covered most of it. I have a small position left, and I was waiting for the bounce to short into it. This is what I mean by I'm not comfortable shorting the weakness, because if I add it on the way down, let's say added 782s and 780s, yes, it did tank to 777s, but the big bounce from there, it's like a 20-point bounce. Well, 10. I can't really do math. 10-point bounce from 777 all the way to 784. So that's a pretty big bounce. So that's why I don't want to get caught if the stock does bounce huge. So that's where I waited for the bounce to add into it. Added some 781s and 784s, and I shorted it all the way back down to the covers at 780, and I'm all out of the stock. So this is a decent short, and I'm sorry, Kathy, just cover your eyes. So that's the whole trade on the Tesla short, and it's still the biggest trade for me today, even though I did trade a couple other stocks, and I didn't get to size more into the stock, but the range on Tesla, when this thing panics, especially in a really weak market, it drops a lot. So this is like a 790 all the way down to 780, a 10-point drop. A little bit more, but I didn't quite catch the top and I didn't quite catch the bottom. But the whole point of day trading is to just catch the meat of the move. But SNOA was still a decent short, even with a small size. The locates on this was very expensive. I believe they were about 20 cents for an $8 stock. That's pretty expensive. I still got some. I was waiting for the stock to retest $9 at least on the daily. You can see a lot of spikes failed spikes and failed breakouts around $9, $9.50, so even 10s. So I was kind of waiting for that. Pre-market, I didn't short it. I waited for the open and see if we're gonna get a big spike. Didn't happen. It just kind of stayed really weak, and that's why I kind of shorted here. 870. I'm slowly adding into it. Even if I didn't have a full size locate, I still want to make sure I'm kind of using those locates wisely. So I shorted 780, 870, 860s. Added on this breakdown 820s. Covered some into it and also out of it at 750. So decent shorts. You can see I still didn't quite catch the bottom, but that's fine. That's not the point. 750, it tanked all the way to $7. So missed about 50 cents, but that's okay. I'm all done with this. Now let's talk about the next stock, ALF. This one I was short and I took a loss on it. This is my red trade on the day. And I was more short biased on the stock because of the long-term downtrend on the daily. And the daily chart is very similar to what we saw on SNOA, right? But I made the mistake of being way too early, or instead of waiting for the stock to show me the resistance. So I was short way too early here. Even with like starting to scaling in small size, it's still not fun to lose, this is like what, 20 cents? 20 cents? I did have a somewhat reshorted, I'm just end up covering. Not worth it. So all these trades here and here, this is a loss. Pretty much before 10 o'clock. I tried it twice, lost twice on it. I did make back some later on around 8 down to 780s, and then right here, small little scalps and small little scalps here. So I did go back 3 more times to make back some small losses, but at the end of the day, it wasn't worth it. I think I should have just left it alone pretty much. So overall, a net loss on this short trade. And you can see the stock is very difficult to short. You know, after that reject from 860s down to $8, it should have died. But instead, it's reclaiming VWAP, and it's probably gonna test the high of the day in the afternoon. So you gotta pick your battles, especially in a market like today. There's a lot of more straightforward short selling potential in the market. So that's why I just admitted my defeat and decided to leave this ALF alone. Now the next stock I traded is CEI on the short side. I know this one has gotten a lot of retail traders and especially on social media very excited for the last like 2 or 3 weeks. You can see this stock on the daily went pretty much from 50 cents to $1, and then today it went as high as $3 and $3.40s. I usually don't trade these kind of stocks. That's really low price. That came from like 50 cents or below $1. It's been many years since I traded anything that's like closer to an actual penny stock. But for me to trade it today is because I saw the really extended daily chart. I mean, this thing went parabolic from 150 all the way to $3. And you know, you can see I didn't trade the stock at all until I see a parabolic move from 280s all the way to 340s, and I see this huge drop all the way. You can see this V-shaped drop, right? It went up to 340 and came back to where it came from. And a lot of times, even like if you ignore the price of the stock, this is the setup we see in a lot of the higher price names on the either the large caps or even some of the small caps that trade from $2 to $10. So this is a kind of setup where the stock has been extended for multiple days, and the first day has a harsh sell off like this. That's a short setup that I normally would play. So that's the reason I started looking at the stock and started getting interested in the stock short. You can say I wasn't involved in this thing until all the way after the drop from 340 down to 280s. And over here, I started seeing a lot of selling around $3 area. And technically on the 5-minute chart, the $3 below VWAP, first of all, and also lower highs. It's the first time that you see any sort of true weakness for the last couple of days. If you go to the intraday chart from all of these stocks, you'll see that the chart is, for the first time, different than all the prior days. You can see in all the prior days, it stays very strong, and it never really held below VWAP until, except for this day, below VWAP on the 5-minute. But for today was different. Like $3, it had a lot of trouble trying to break out above VWAP and trying to reclaim that $3. So that's the reason I shorted it. And the stock is trading very, very high volume. If you look at today, it traded over 500 million shares volume. So that's why it's pretty easy to fill on this thing. So I shorted this $3 down here, and I covered into 284s, and I was out on this flush to 260s. I did give back some here. You can see I give back some here. I tried to reshort a little bit, seeing if we're gonna test the prior day's close again. We'll potentially go red on the day to 240s. But it didn't get there. So I got out of my remaining short position and gave back some profits on the secondary short. I think if this thing does reclaim $3, which looks like it's going to, you might see another day on CEI, another 1 or 2 days, depending on whether you close above $3 or not. So right now, obviously, it's still early. There's 3 more hours left. So we'll see what happens. But for now, $3. If you look at how the stock is trading near the end of the day, $3, that's gonna be an important level to determine whether you're gonna reclaim that and see another leg up tomorrow. If this thing does reclaim $3, it's very possible that it goes all the way to $5. So we'll see what happens. But under $3, if it closes below 3, then this thing have downside all the way to almost $2 in near term. So I'm all out of this. I'm just kind of trying to analyze it and prepare for what it could do tomorrow. And before we go, just a friendly reminder that I do not and will never trade or invest your money for you. I do not do that for anyone else. I only trade my own money. And I've made multiple reminders and warnings about this on my YouTube channel, and including a lot of posting and Instagram stories on other social media platforms as well. And it just makes me really sad to see when sometimes people do fall for that. And unfortunately, this lady fell for that and, spent $2,000 and deposited her money on a trading platform. And now she can't access that platform anymore. And it just makes me really sad to see this. So please be careful on the internet. I do not trade for anyone else. I will not ask you to deposit your money in Bitcoin or send it to me on WeChat or WhatsApp or any other social media platforms. Again, all the real YouTube replies on social media will have a highlight over my name. My only Instagram is Humbled Trader. My only Twitter is Humbled Trader 18. My only Facebook is Humbled Trader. That's it. My official website is humbledtrader.com, and that's the only place where you can enroll in my trading community and education programs. And so I'm really sad and sorry to hear about this loss that this person is talking about. And if you're watching this, please contact your local authorities. And just understand that there's a lot of people online impersonating me with my photos, trying to scam your money. So please stay safe on the internet and stay safe, especially in this kind of market conditions. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the bad jokes. If you want to see more day trading content, make sure to subscribe and follow me on Twitter and Instagram for more. If you'd like to trade with me daily and get my free weekend watch list and trading journal, make sure to check out the links below for more resources. Stay green, stay positive, and I'll see you guys next time.